Welcome back, Magic Tribe. This is Magic Mom Ministries, and I'm Nina Diedrich, and we are here to do your yearlies. This is something that I'm launching new this time, so we'll see how it goes, but we're going to try to limit these to 30 minutes each. This is the one for my lovely Capricorns, and if you don't just limit this to your sun, moon, or your rising sign. If you have any significant signs in Capricorn, this message will probably be for you. And your guys's little reminder for the year, I guess, is going to be about finding your joy. So let's see what the cards have to say to you. We're going to use the Deviant Moon Tarot by Patrick Valenza in honor of one of my very favorite Capricorns, Miss Taylor. I love you. And we're going to start out by pulling one or two cards for each month, and then I'm going to clarify those with cards from the Affirmators deck or the Universe Has Your Back, depending. I'm not sure exactly which one I want to use yet, so we'll see how this goes. Let's get your cards first. Oh, well, there went January. We get the Hierophant and the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands and the Hierophant for January tells me that something maybe significant message-wise may be coming through for you this coming month, having to do with something in official senses. Let's get our card for February is going to be the Five of Wands. So there may be a little bit of self-induced struggle involved in February. We'll get some clarifiers on that, though. Let's get March. And it's right there. There it goes. March is the Hermit. Okay. Hello, Wendy. Oh my goodness. They're just flying out all over the place for you guys. Ooh, for January, February, March, April, we get Justice. That's good. Okay. May. Ooh, May tried to hop out there for a second. It's this one right here. May, you get Strength for May. June hopped back in. June, you get the Six of Wands. I love this victory card. It's one of my favorites. July is the Fool. That's new beginnings. It's looking good for summer. Looks like you guys have a little bit of struggle coming up in the next couple. Oh, my goodness, that's way too many. And maybe the winter time up until the beginning of the spring, and then you may kind of hermit for a little bit, and then you're going to come out all shiny and new. Hello, Studio 226. Okay, so we get January, February, March, April, June, July. August's card is the Five of Cups. So there may be a little bit of loss coming, but it's not going to be something major, and it may just be something that you feel like you're losing and not something that you're actually losing. I'm getting a distinct message that it's definitely a little bit of crying over spilled milk. Good morning, Natasha. And September, you get the High Priestess. I love this card. So for September, that's pretty good. Okay, so actually let's do this. We'll do the first half of the year and then the second half of the year on the bottom. One of these days I'll get a better camera so you guys can actually see my cards. Oh, October is riding the top. And we get the Page of Pentacles for October, so there may be some messages about money in October. Bear with me while I get all these cards pulled, and then we'll dive in. November is the Eight of Coins, and that is about working really hard to get where we want to go. I love that. And let's get your card for December. Oh, there it is right here. And you get another page, so the Page of Swords. So this is about an action you'll be taking going into 2020. 2020 is going to be really big for all of us, too. I definitely cannot wait to do the ones for next year. All right, let's get your clarifiers out of The Universe Has Your Back, I think. That is the one I'm being called to. That's the one you're going to get. Now, The Universe Has Your Back is by Gabrielle Bernstein. She is the author of the book by the same name, and these are the reminder cards for that book, and I totally love it. Okay, so let's roll through here really quick, and we'll get your affirmations for each month if I don't drop all the cards. Okay. I think this is going to be your first half of the year. We get a reminder for happiness is your birthright in January. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort in February. That sounds about right. Joy is the ultimate creator for March. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love in April. That's nice. May says I am a spirit having a human experience and I'm getting closer to love. Let's get June through December. Oh, not all of them, please. June is the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So that's going to be about synchronicities. Oh. July is going to be the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I become. I like that. Or I am. August says, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. That's our Five of Cups month, so that makes sense. All right. September, October, November, and December. September says, instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. So that shows a reconnection with oneness. That one. October says, when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. And as I'm going through each month, I'll hold all these up for you guys again. Just going through them really quick while I pull the cards. I don't like to pull them off camera. Okay. November says the universe works fast when I'm having fun. So the next holidays coming up may have some pretty epic things going for them. All right, one last one, Capricorns. For December. Ooh. And it happens to be my favorite prayer. For December, you're ending this year with thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. So there you have it. You're going to be finding your joy this year, and maybe through a little bit of struggle. But in the end, you're going to be ultimately grateful for the outcome. So keep swimming, my little fishes. And let's dive into this, okay? I may pull a couple more clarifiers out as we go. And if I do, I'm going to use the Divine Wisdom deck by Neil Donald Walsh, just because it'll be an extra message from Source if it's coming. Okay, so January, this coming month, starts off with you knowing happiness is your birthright. This has been made ultimately clear for you throughout 2018, and you're getting ready to step in where your power is. Okay? This may involve getting some messages or giving some messages to people in a very, very, very official sense. So those of you going through struggles with the court systems or government agencies or even your doctor's office, for God's sake, about your health, you'll be getting some answers, but you're going to have to fight for it a little bit. The universe wants to know that you're really serious this time, because I know we've all done this before and we've decided we wanted to change our lives, but then we've gotten scared and decided not to. That's not happening this year. We learned last year what happens when we dick around and don't follow where our intuitions are leading us, right? As a Capricorn rising, damn, have I got that message this year. So I'm just going to pull a really quick card out of the Divine Wisdom deck for this. And I'm just going to pull the one right off the top. So for January, remember everybody, the spirit of you seeks in the largest sense. That grand moment when you have conscious awareness of its wishes and join in joyful oneness with them. But the spirit will never, ever force its desire on the present, conscious, physical part of you. So remember, this really is about mind over matter. We can be given the opportunities, but if we're being too stubborn to take them, the universe is going to give them to someone else. And then you're going to get to watch someone else live the dream you wanted to live. Don't let that happen. Okay? No matter what it takes, take your power back this month, everyone. As a Capricorn, in any way, happiness is your birthright. Even a little bit more for you guys than I think everyone else this year. It's been a little bit of a rough ride, but you got it. Okay? So February may be a little bit of a struggle, but remember, you're going to find deeper meaning in it, okay? This Five of Wands card is really kind of gruesome, but ultimately it shows that we are the ones in control of our lives. And if we let all these little demons in our heads run rampant, like you may have the want to do in February, because maybe things are not going to be happening as quickly as you like, you're going to have to remind yourself, I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. So no matter how much it hurts in February, don't give up. I don't care what you have to do to get yourself through, short of damaging yourself further, of course. Don't resort to old addictions or bad habits to get yourself through this. You're really going to have to step up and put on your big boy pants and go, all right, I got this, because I love me. Not because someone else loves me, but because I love me and I'm worth it. And I'm tired of treating myself like shit. Right? We've all been doing it. It's been our biggest lesson in 2018 about how we manifest our own worst nightmares. And 2019 is going to be about how we can manifest our biggest dreams come true. We've been doing it a little bit already, but we keep poo-pooing it away and going, no, it's just a weird coinky-dink. But guess what? There is no such thing as a coincidence. All right, March, everyone. Joy is going to be our ultimate creator, okay? But we may have to find it by ourselves. Don't be afraid of being alone. I do my best work alone, okay? And so do you. But you have to get past the fear of it first. But remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. So even when you feel the most alone is when you're the most surrounded by love. You just have a tendency to try to push it away. And that's just about our own sense of self-worth. I'm going to pull a Divine Wisdom card for March. And March says, I understand your fatigue and I know you're tired of the struggle. Yet I tell you this, when you follow me, the struggle disappears. Live in your God space. And the events become blessings, one and all. So March may be reminding us to take a little bit slower pace and realize that even the bad things that happen to us maybe really aren't that bad in the grand scheme of things. And if we can back up and look at the big perspective, it may be okay. All right, let's see. We have April next. We're going to go through these a little bit faster. Okay. For April, we got, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So we're going to be getting a reminder come April via the loving justice that is going to prevail. Okay. It may take the first 4 months of this year in order for you to really see solid progress. But remember to take the baby steps as they come, because every baby step adds up to something bigger. Okay. And for April, the card is going to be, so long as you entertain the notion that there is something or someone else out there doing it to you, you disempower yourself to do anything about it. Remember, only when you say, I did this, can you find the power to change it. And sometimes it's just admitting that we enabled it and we stood back thinking that it was going to get better and it didn't. Sometimes loving someone else is not the right route. We need to love ourselves first. So there's your reminder. We are ultimately responsible for everything that happens to us, because we can walk away at any time. No one is ever stuck anywhere. Okay. May, you're remembering that you're a spirit having a human experience and you're here to get closer to love. And that's it. And we do that sometimes the most through forgiveness. And sometimes that may be our biggest strength. Forgiving ourselves for letting ourselves down. It doesn't really matter who else you've let down. But if you keep beating yourself up with the same mistakes that you've made in your past, you're going to keep repeating them. Instead, you have to say, no, I'm better than that now, and I know better. I can make a better choice than I did then, because maybe I just made that choice because I didn't have all of the information. Sometimes our biggest strength is in forgiving ourselves. And I think that's going to be our biggest lesson in May, is about forgiveness. And it may have something to do with our mothers. I'm getting that message quite clearly. June is going to be the moment that we realign with our love of ourselves and realize that there is clear direction being presented to us, right? So accept your accolades in June. You did it. You made it. You're through. And it's going to be okay. Your message in June is going to be, masters are those who have chosen only love. In every instance, in every moment, and in every circumstance. Even as they were being killed, they loved their murderers. And even as they were being persecuted, they loved their oppressors. And they did that because They were being taught a lesson. And the lesson was simply we are spirits having a human experience, not the other way around. And no matter what happens to your body, it can't touch your soul unless you let it. So let's bring all our pieces back together. That's what this year's going to be about, okay? Because in July, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Because July is when your new beginning's coming, and it's going to be a big one. Because every human thought and every human action is based in either love or fear, and there is no other human motivation. And all other ideas are but derivatives of these two. They're simply different versions, different twists on the same theme. Come July, we're going to be solidly making our decisions based in love, because we realize the ones that we've been making in fear, and we're done with that now. August is going to ask us to surrender a little bit more. When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. Because we may have a little bit of an extra purge coming after all the goodness of July, and that's pretty typical. There's also going to be some eclipses, I believe, in July that may be helping to trigger this last huge purge before 2020. So try not to look at just the bad things that are happening. Remember to remind yourself of all the things that you're grateful for, not all the things that you think you need. As gods, we have no needs. We do have preferences, though. So keep that in the forefront. Because in September, instead of praying for an outcome in a specific way, we're going to start praying for the highest good of all, for all, with all. Because September has you riding high in your power. The High Priestess is about following our intuitions and knowing we're going the right direction, no matter how weird the decision happens to look. October brings us to when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. So staying high in your power is going to bring you a big, big benefit come October. It may involve a little bit of money, maybe a raise, a new job, some opportunity that you have been dying to have. It's going to be presented to you, but only if you're paying attention. November brings us to the fun stuff. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. So remember, when we stay in our joy, our manifestations make double time, good and bad. So stay in mastery. Because November may involve a little bit of hard work, but it's going to be hard work that you're having a freaking blast doing. So don't worry about that. But it's going to be very, very busy. With it being in the holiday season, too, that makes it a little bit double, but you got it. There also may be a little bit of a calamity, okay? Our Divine Wisdom card says earthquakes and hurricanes, floods and tornadoes, and events that you call natural disasters are but movements of the elements from one polarity to the other. The whole birth-death cycle is part of this movement. These are the rhythms of life, and everything in gross reality is subject to them because life itself is a rhythm. So we may be slightly subject to the process in November, but again, if we stay in our faith that everything is happening for a reason, it shouldn't be a problem, right? Because you're ending the year on a high note about some very distinct action you're going to be making going into 2020. And boy, you have cut the bullshit from your life and you are standing tall and proud. And it's going to be wicked amazing, because our last card for the year for you was, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good for all, not just for me. So we're attaining oneness, Capricorns, this coming lunar or yearly cycle. So it looks like the beginning of the year may start off a little bit rough, but ultimately your strength and your love is going to pull you through. So remember to stay centered in that and not in the nonsense happening around you, because that is just what's influencing what's happening inside of you. The things that we're going through internally are ultimately manifested in our physical reality, but it's on a little bit of a time lapse, okay? Things that are happening now are things that we've called in maybe a few months ago or a few years ago, even depending on how it is. We asked that one question that one time: what would happen if I got out of this situation and my life was different? It just took this long for it to actually happen. But time's funny now, right? Because we're in the land of no time, and ultimately our manifestations are coming to us based on the energetic vibration that we have. So keep your vibrations high, everyone. No, you are a spirit having a human experience, and happiness is ultimately your birthright, not something we all have to strive for. It's something we're born with. So find your joy this year, Capricorns. And know, we here at Magic Mom Ministries love, appreciate, and are in full support of each and every one of you. We hope to see you joining up with the Magic Tribe. The link's in the box below, and that's where you can also find the link to get a hold of me if you'd need a little bit of extra personal or private coaching help. I work by donation, so shoot me your question with a little donation, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And remember, you are the light of the universe. Go out and create those ripples, and don't be scared about how big they get. They're washing away something that needs to go, because this year is bringing an end to polarity, and you're going to be a key player. So love yourselves, guys, because I love you. Be well and be good. And I'll see you tomorrow when we take our next walk with Spirit. Bye now.